Hey guys, this is Shadow Artie, and I'm bringing you here another Wi-Fi battle. This battle is against a guy named Elexpsp. I met him on the Smogon Wi-Fi battle finder, and this is going to be a underused tier match. And it actually ended up being really close and really fun. I really had fun with this one. And his Porygon 2 is going to end up being the most annoying Pokemon in this battle, and you're going to see why later on. So why don't we get started with the battle? So I thought he was actually going to start the battle with his Hitmontop. So I start out with my Kingdra, but instead he actually starts with his Empoleon. I go for the Dragon Dance because I want to power up my Kingdra as much as possible before his Empoleon could land and attack me. But it actually turns out that his Empoleon is actually Stealth Rock Empoleon, so that tells me he's not really an offensive Empoleon, and I could actually he can't do that much damage to me. But he smartly goes for the Roar when he sets up the Stealth Rock, and that goes into my Umbreon. And basically, I'm going to I get some HP back with the leftovers, and I believe I go for leftover. I go for Toxic, and he actually wisely predicts that, and he goes into Hitmontop, a great prediction by him. And my Toxic basically just poisons his Hitmontop, and he can go for wait. Yeah, he gets hurt by the poison, and I decided to call off my Umbreon. I go back to my Kingdra, and he actually goes for a Toxic himself, and he ends up poisoning my Kingdra. Another good prediction by him. I guess he knew I was going to switch out, or maybe he just wanted to poison my Umbreon just to stop it from using its Wish attack. Either way, it was a good strategy by him. So then he withdraws his Hitmontop, and he goes into his annoying Porygon 2. And basically, I go for the Outrage, but he's a defensive Porygon 2, so that almost doesn't even do half damage. And I'm poisoned. I go for another Outrage, and I know it's not going to really take down his Porygon 2. It was kind of a mistake by me, and now I'm confused. And then he goes for the Thunderbolt, and I believe he takes me down. Oh no, I survive. But I'm going to end up dying next turn because of poison, and then I'm going to get confused, and I'm going to end up failing, and I'm just going to sacrifice my Kingdra, and my first Pokemon goes down. So, it turns out he has Recover, and it's not really looking good for me. So, I go into my Rhyperior next, and my Rhyperior gets hurt, and then I go for the Earthquake, and that actually does a pretty decent amount of damage, but he goes for the Ice Beam, and that basically takes me down in one hit. And my Rhyperior did absolutely nothing in this match. Really disappointing. I thought he would do some damage. So I go into my Houndoom, and I go for the Dark Pulse, and that does not take down his Porygon 2, and then he goes for another Recover, and he's basically just stalling me with his Recover, and it's really annoying. So this time I went for the Overheat, and he actually didn't want to die, so he switches to his Empoleon, but since I went for the Overheat, it's actually going to do a ton of damage. And my attack falls, that's okay. And he has some leftovers, doesn't really help him. I go for another Overheat. He doesn't really have a choice, so he just has to sacrifice his Empoleon, and that's basically going to take down his first Pokemon. So he goes into his Mismagius next, and he goes for the Hidden Power. I think he has Hidden Power Fighting. I'm not really sure. Yes, he has Hidden Power Fighting. So that's not really looking good for me. Another one of my Pokemon goes down. So I go into my defensive Milotic, and he withdraws Pokemon again, and he goes into his Sableye, and I go for the Ice Beam, and it barely does any damage. Again, still not looking good for me. He's really got the upper hand in this battle, so he goes to the Will-O-Wisp. It was pretty predictable. I could have switched out, but I decided to stay in because I didn't really want to risk anything. So I get burned, and then my Skull actually ends up burning him. So I get a little bit of an advantage there. So we're both burned, and we're both basically just taking damage. And he taunts me. It's not that big of a deal. And I believe I go for the Dragon Tail, and it ends up switching his Pokemon. So he goes back into his poisoned Hitmontop. I believe I go for the what do I go for next? I think I go for Scald, maybe? Wait, no, he gets poisoned first, and then I get burned. He withdraws his Hitmontop, and he goes back into his Porygon 2, and yeah, I go for the Scald, and it doesn't really do that much. I don't get the burn there. Kind of disappointed there. So I keep getting hurt by burn, and I go for an Ice Beam. I end up getting a critical hit, but it doesn't really kill him. He goes for the Thunderbolt, and it does a ton of damage. But my Milotic's actually carrying a Recover, so I think I end up using that this turn. Yes, I end up going for Recover this turn, and end up getting almost all my life back. So, and he ends up going for Recover too. So kind of unfortunate there. And yeah, his Porygon has really annoyed me in this battle. So I'm basically getting hurt, and then I switch out of my Milotic, and I finally go into my Machamp to deal some damage. He ends up going for the Thunderbolt, and it doesn't. It actually does quite a bit of damage. Then I go for the Close Combat. It was kind of predictable. He goes into his Hitmontop, and then kind of unfortunate there. It was a good prediction by him, and basically I end up almost taking out his Hitmontop, but next turn he's going to end up outspeeding me with his Close Combat, and basically that's going to take down my Machamp. I should have I didn't play Machamp that well in this match either. Kind of disappointed there. So it's not looking really good for me at all. I'm getting absolutely destroyed by this guy. But his Hitmontop is still poisoned. He's taking damage. So I go back into my Milotic, and what do I go for this time? I believe I go for, he goes for a Sucker Punch. I know I can take that because I'm defensive. Then I go for the Ice Beam, and I basically take down his Hitmontop. So I believe I now took down 2 of his Pokemon. I'm not really sure. Yeah, I think 2. And then he goes into his Weavile. And basically, he goes for a Night Slash, and I take that like a boss. And I go for a Recover right away. A good move by me, because next turn I would have died. He would have ended up outspeeding me and taking out my Milotic. So good thing I went for a Recover this turn. So I end up getting burnt. That's fine. He goes for a Thief. Does a decent amount of damage, but not too much. I end up going for a Scald, trying to get a burn or something, or I end up not getting it, and I keep getting burnt. It's still not looking good for me at all. He goes for another Night Slash, and I basically have 35 HP left. I end up going for another Scald that almost takes down his Weavile. I get up some HP back with leftovers, and my burn basically gives me about 12 HP back. So I go into my Umbreon, and I believe I go for, he goes for a Night Slash first, and yeah, since he's a Life Orb Weavile, he ends up getting taken down. He ends up killing himself, so that's pretty good for me. And then he goes into his Mismagius. He goes for Hidden Power Fighting. I somehow lived that. A good job by my Umbreon. Then I end up going for the Foul Play, and I almost take down his Mismagius. I get some HP back, and then he ends up going for Hidden Power again. And I somehow survived that. Since his Mismagius is Life Orb, he gets taken down, and I actually go for the Wish this turn. A great strategy by me, because now I could just use Protect next turn and get a bunch of HP back. So a good plan by me. And yeah, I end up getting some HP back. Well, guys, this is unfortunate. Unfortunate because in this part of the battle, basically he's just gonna keep using his Recover. He's gonna end up Recover stalling. And I'm just going to keep hitting him with a bunch of Foul Plays, and yeah, and then I'm going to end up Wish stalling, and I'm eventually going to take down both his Porygon 2 and his Sableye, who both know Recover. So I end up taking both of them down. Umbreon ends up taking down 4 Pokemon in this battle, and yeah, well, two of them were Life Orbed and had really low HP, and they kind of took themselves down. But still, Umbreon did a great job in this battle. I'm going to end up speeding up the rest of this battle and playing some background music for you guys, because Again, as I said, this battle gets this part of the battle gets really repetitive. So yeah, if you like this, that's basically going to be the match. And if you like this video, please like it, favorite, and subscribe. It would really help me out. Yeah, if you like to battle me, please send me a PM, and we'll work something out. Anyway, this was a great battle. Good props to my opponent. I end up coming back, and yeah, guys, this is Shadow Artie signing out. Thanks for watching, guys.